Okay, so this is going to be a hopefully shorter video, and I want to go through how I, as a student, would research colleges. So, without further ado, how I research colleges as a potato student. My first slide here is just kind of making sure we're aware there are overall ranks, and that's something I've been covering in my Research University tier list video, Liberalized Colleges tier list, the US News rankings. And then there's major specific ranks, let's say specifically for a business major or for a computer science major. And if you're a student and you're really wondering like which ranking you should care about, I think the general advice I'd give you is focus on the overall ranks because that tends to give you a, a better translation towards more opportunities, job prospects, prestige value. It also gives you more flexibility, range, and security in the event that you want to expand your interest. Maybe not just do computer science, but combine computer science with, let's say, business management. And it also kind of accounts for the fact that, or gives room for the fact that a lot of students will change their major quite often. I think 70% is still the going number of students in the United States who'll change their major at least once throughout their undergraduate career. I put in a note about a specific example like UI-UC and Purdue and UT Austin. Let's say that you are dead set on becoming a SpaceX engineer and you really want to get into aerospace engineering. Obviously, there's Caltech, right? There's MIT, but there in that situation, instead of aiming for only tier one schools like those, there's a lot of great options within the tier three, tier four overarching categories, overall ranking categories. So UI, UC, Purdue, UT Austin. A little note I want to make about that's this third bullet point. Major ranked schools can be very competitive. So, for example, Purdue, I think overall you can see a 40 to 60% acceptance rate. But the moment you choose to pursue computer science or competitive engineering majors at Purdue, that chance actually drops to around like 15 to 20 for some. So just because it's overall ranked really low and great for a major rank doesn't necessarily mean you're getting a steal of a deal. I would consider both rankings. I'm not going to say that you need to completely ignore major ranks and overall ranks are what matters. I think I lean towards overall rankings just because I know the nature of students and the desire when you go to college your freshman year and sophomore year to maybe explore a bit more and maybe expand your interests and change your interests. So I'd lean a little bit more towards overall rankings, but also dip into the major rankings to see if you can check out any schools that would be good for you too. When I'm doing research, I love using the report cards on niche, however you want to pronounce it. So what is niche? Let me show you. If I went to a Google window, let's just type in niche and just type in a college. Let's do UCLA. So it's the first thing I'd search right here. And there it is, niche.com. And what I want to draw your attention to first would be the report card. And I love this thing. You can kind of see the different breakdowns. Athletics, professors, dorms, student life, party scene, location. This one's a really important one for me. Campus food. Absolutely agree. A plus. I don't know if you've heard about the legends of UCLA when it comes to campus food, but they've got like 7+ dining halls, all each serving different things each night. You know, they have like sushi night, country fried steak. They have late night Denev. Maybe they changed their name since I've been there, but late night Denev basically is like its own little Pizza Hut, hot dogs, curly fries, that delivers all the way until like, I think it used to be like 1 a.m. And so definitely if you've heard of Freshman 15, that's the concept of when you go to college, you're going to gain 15 pounds because of the food and the freedom that you have. I think at UCLA, the danger is actually Freshman 30. Way you want to use this is by comparing it then to other schools. So I'm going to open up another tab and let's do niche U Chicago. So if we take a look at niche U Chicago, you'll see right away that there's slight differences. C+ for safety at Chicago. I think like it was maybe a month now that a graduate student was mugged and murdered. I think it was off campus, but nonetheless, unfortunately, UChicago kind of has that kind of locational reputation. Campus food is all right. C+ for athletics. Let's do another one. Let's try Berkeley actually. So if we do, let's type in niche UC Berkeley. And here's UC Berkeley. Look at those dorms, D minus. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Those dorms are some of those they need to renovate. Hopefully they're working on that. The campus food C plus. Last time I went there, it was what, 3 dining halls, and they all serve the same food each day. Like going to a separate dining hall didn't mean that you got a different kind of food or something. So the options were kind of bare. I hear a lot of complaints that they from students who go to Berkeley that they'd rather just go out to eat. C minus for safety. Yeah, it was. I'd say there's quite a noticeable homeless population that's just kind of roaming around. That isn't to say that all homeless people obviously are dangerous or anything like that. But I can see why the C minus kind of fits the bill there. Yeah, I just right away you'll begin to see by itself, if you just looked at UCLA, it'd be hard to kind of get value out of it. So my suggestion is, if you really want to start getting a sense of the school, you start to open up multiple tabs and compare them. Let's do one more. Let's do like I don't know, let's do Brown. Brown's a really popular school. So if we went to Brown niche, you can see, right? Pretty decent. Dorms are B. Campus food is a B plus. Location is A plus. Rhode Island's a beautiful place. Safety B plus. I think anything that's honestly a B minus or better, as a parent, they don't have to worry as much. I think once you get into like the C territories where maybe some concern is there. Like for example, let's take a look at Johns Hopkins. So if we do Johns Hopkins niche, Johns Hopkins has a reputation for having a really bad campus, but that's not true at all. I think the campus itself is great. They've got a lot of like cool stuff there. There's like I forgot what the specific name is, like the Paper Moon Cafe, or they've got a lot of cool things there. I think if you stay on campus, it's great. The moment you go off campus is where it becomes a little bit more checkerboard. Obviously, there's like inner Baltimore, Harbor, kind of more glitzy upper kind of place. So, but then you drive 5 miles, 5 miles west, and then it can get a little rough. But maybe I don't agree. And now that I'm looking at the comparison with, let's say, Berkeley as a C minus for safety, this is where I'm going to tell you straight up that the letter grades are not 100% accurate. I wouldn't rely on these to be the absolute mean all say all. But when you put it into comparisons, I'd say the vast majority of the grades are pretty on point and could give you a good sense of the differences of the school. So yeah, if I am, trying to get a sense of the school overarchingly, I would use niche.com's report card. Love doing comparisons. Not all grades are accurate, and use it to compare colleges, and don't make this the only source. The other thing I'd probably suggest would be to jump into go back to those same pages and actually scroll down to the student and campus polls. And let me show you what I mean by that. So if you go back to UCLA, and if you see on the left-hand side right here, there's going to be students, and you scroll down. This is really fun to check out. I have a lot of fun reading through these each year, see how things change. But what's one word or phrase that describes the typical student at this school? Studious and party animal. How beats me. There goes my UCLA students, man. They're super studious, but they also know how to have fun. That much is true. They're driven, every type, but studious, very diverse. I absolutely agree with the every type and the diverse. I felt like if you go onto UCLA campus and you just spend a day walking around, like you're gonna meet all different kinds of people. It's awesome. Studious, legend in the making, party animal. And then the one right under is for campus life. And you can see the poll, same thing, but for the campus vibe. It's a competitive, diverse, work hard, play hard. I think they spelled that wrong. So grain of salt, guys, whenever you're dealing with these kinds of online conglomerated polls. Let's try U Chicago. So actually, let's go to UC Berkeley. Let's go to UC Berkeley next to compare the UCs. So students at UC Berkeley: competitive and hardworking, motivated, driven, dedicated, exceptionally intelligent, motivated, hardworking, intelligent, amazing, motivated. Man, there's a lot of motivated people. Notice how there's not as much party animals compared to UCLA. And yeah, I can believe it. Campus life. Diverse, liberal, crazy, intelligent. Diverse and liberal. Competitive, awe-inspiring, challenging. Inclusive, intelligent. Competitive, liberal, and difficult. Amazing. This isn't even spelled right. So, intelligent. I'm getting a lot of liberal. And that's, to me, I think that's one of those obvious things about Berkeley. That's a very liberal campus. A lot of the news that comes out of there, the liberal movements and things like that. So I definitely agree there. And you're starting to see, compared to, let's say, UCLA, they are different. You're going to start noticing the different type of personalities in the student and the campus. Here's UChicago. So if you take a look at UChicago, let's take a look at the students. Everyone has something interesting about them, unabashed, excited about learning. Econ major, that's definitely true. A lot of econ majors at UChicago. Extremely liberal, stressed, insane, but in a good way. Let's see the campus. Intellectual and fun. Intellectual and quirky. So very, very intellectual, the campus is. All right, let's take a look at Brown. So we go to Brown, we go to students. Passionate, non-judgmental, uniquely themselves, open, privileged, aggressively and almost closed-mindedly passionate. Wow, that's very specific. I think as I get lower in the ranks, I'm not really putting too much of a emphasis on these. I feel like the top 3 or 4 would give you enough of a sense of what to expect. Campus, let's take a look. Liberal, push students to think differently. Progressive, liberal to the point of being flawed. Okay. Vibrant. Home away from home. Again, you're starting to notice different vibes. I'd say like Brown is the closest equivalent to to Berkeley. Whereas UCLA, what's a good equivalent to UCLA? What's a party animal school? Arizona State University, maybe? Let's check that out. Let's try. So Arizona State University niche. At least that's what their reputation is. Academics, I wouldn't agree with. Arizona State is not that hard to get into. Campus food, haven't been there actually, so I wouldn't know. But let's go to students. Chill, regular college students, dedicated. Attitude depends on the college they're in. Awesome, spoiled. Campus. My school is both a party and educator. There you go. So it's equivalent there. Let me see if I can think of a school that kind of brings up the rank equivalency more than Arizona State. How about we try Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, often known for its location, Nashville. A lot of music there. It's a party scene, A+, and it's because of the music scene there. Campus food, A. Dorms, this is not bad at all. So let's go to students. Talented and intelligent, ambitious, rounded, smart, not nerdy, very friendly, lazy but intelligent. Southern school with an Ivy League standard, work hard, play hard. There it is. There's my party animal, but not so much really. But yeah, you can start to see that some schools have similar vibes. Other schools are very different when you compare them. So we were looking at Brown earlier. This is it again. Very liberal, push students to think differently. If you go to Johns Hopkins and let's go to students. Driven, stressed about school, busy, competitive, focused. I'm getting that vibe for what I know about Johns Hopkins. If you go to campus, challenging, competitive, that's exactly what I get most of the times when I talk with students who are currently attending or graduating from Johns Hopkins, that it can be very academically challenging there, but it's rewarding, obviously, given that it's a great school in terms of job prospects upon graduation. But yeah, plenty of other things you could take a look at, but I just wanted to highlight those parts. Additional resources that suggest to you going on YouTube. I don't know if you students have checked out trying the keyword or phrase search day in the life of UCLA, day in the life of UC Berkeley, day in the life of Harvard, day in the life of Johns Hopkins. You get the idea. There's also Fisk's guide. Fisk's has always been one of the staples of college data, college research. So if you Google that, give that a go, you'll probably find something interesting. I've been a fan of recommending uvisit.com. They are kind of, if you can't go on a campus tour, they give you virtual options. So check out uvisit.com and you'll see what I mean. They do a great job of creating a virtual website where you can kind of step. You can choose where you want to go to see the campus online. Obviously, talking to anyone who's an alumni of the school. If you know anyone, or if you have parents, friends, family, friends, asking them about their experience is obviously good. Admission webinars and events. So if you go to the undergraduate admissions website for the colleges you're interested in, sometimes they'll give you news events or signups to enroll in a seminar or a webinar, and those are awesome places to kind of find information from the source. And lastly, in the same vein, looking for their mailing list. I think some schools are already opening up their mailing list to juniors who want to learn more about their school. So check those out too. Concluding thoughts, I think when you're a student thinking about colleges, you want to be flexible, you want to be willing to sacrifice and realize that I'm not looking necessarily for a perfect college. I'm looking for a college where I could be challenged, where I can grow, where I can have a good understanding of what kind of resources I would be able to take advantage of. You want to find the pros and cons in all of them, okay? And you want to balance your desires with your discomforts. Like if you have this amazing opportunity to go to a college that's great for your potential future interests, but oh my God, it's got really cold weather, right? So if you before you even apply, if you remove that college from your list, that's what happens if you don't get into any of your other choices, right? When all the results regular come out in March, you don't want to be left hanging. You want to be picky when all the results come out, not necessarily like before you apply. So just food for thought there. You want to be thinking about college like it's an investment. Too many students are looking at it like it's just whether it's a good party school or not. I know that that's kind of what I focused on in terms of the student polls and things like that. I'm hoping that that's not what you're taking away. I hope that what I'm trying to show you is as a student what you should expect there. But remember, college is an investment, guys. You're spending up to 4 years, even maybe longer of your life. And if you are paying full tuition, yikes, ouch, 60, 70 grand a year. You got to make it worth it. Start early by joining the college mailing list, and make sure that you try your best to attend some of the admissions hosted webinars and events. And I think that's all I had. I'm going to be trying to create more content that goes deeper into essays. So look forward to that. If there's any request for different types of topics, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope you found this helpful. Bye.